Hello, everybody. What's up? I feel like the gain is too high. Are we crackling or are we okay? Maybe that's okay? Hello, hello, howdy, howdy. What's up, my fellow tribe mates, castaways? What's the word people like for Survivor? We got house guests. It's very clean. Tribe members. The tribe. I don't know. Cory is number one. His muscles are number one. His streams are number one. This has to be a copy pasta or a reference. What are we talking about? Is this Nacho Libre? Okay, I figured. Welcome, everybody. Card Girl and Laundry Pool, thank you for the primes. How's everybody doing? Survivor 50. We haven't done one of these streams in a minute. Last time we did one of these streams was the Blood Moon, perhaps? Right? I'm pretty sure. That's pretty crazy. I mean, since then, it's a whole different game. I say that, not really. It feels like it was just kind of the death of the honesty, integrity people. Last episode has a lot of shenanigans. I'm very curious about today's episode. Spoilers have gotten pervasive. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything. I haven't even gotten spoiled. It feels like every post I read is alluding to spoilers. It'll be like a chart of who's more likely to be voted off tonight, and then each color represents a different player, but I don't know which color represents which player. So, like, I know what color might get voted out, but it's really bad. Like, it's gotten significantly worse. And I just don't think people quite grasp the fact that this show was taped a long time ago. So, anywho, I'm super excited. We got to get rid of some players quickly. I don't know if it'll be a medical evacuation. It's not going to be a quit, but if we're going to do 2 boots tonight or 3 boots tomorrow, like, it's going to have to start getting these numbers down. So, should be interesting. It's a weird season where I just think there's very few winner candidates remaining. And especially for a cast this size, I think the edit has been pretty bad. I think it's a lot to do with, like, the dynamics in each episode having so many new mechanics and new twists and advantages and whatnot, and it just kind of makes it difficult to flesh out all of these characters. Like, Tiffany has certainly been developed over the past, 4 to 5 episodes, but she still feels like, what the fuck is her edit? She has nothing. Emily has a super weird one. Joe has a super weird one. I think if I was, like, trying to insert myself into, like, the mind of a casual, I think the people who I would think could win the game are Suri, Ozzy, Rizzo, Jonathan, and that's probably it. Like, I don't know who else would even be, like, potential candidates. Like, yeah, like, I feel like Aubrey, because I'm trying to read the edit, and I've been pot committed to that for a long time, but the show certainly hasn't painted that narrative. I guess the whole point, though, is if you're a casual viewer, it's not about the show painting a good winner story. It's just watching the thing happen as if it's a live show. And if you look at it that way, it's like, oh my god, what an unexpected win out of nowhere. She really pulled it out in the last 2 episodes. So, if anyone other than Suri wins it, I'll be so satisfied. I'm sorry. I don't know. I think you have to be able to celebrate people's accomplishments outside of the context of winning the game. Only one person wins. That person often plays worse than other people on the season. If you're like a Survivor nerd fan, you could still give Suri her flowers if she ends up getting 4th, or if she gets voted out tonight, or if she loses in Final Tribal to Jonathan. Technically, the players don't even know who wins. Yeah. Well, maybe. I get what you're saying. Cory doesn't like ring culture in Survivor or NBA. I hate ring culture in the NBA because I think getting a ring is different based on the era. Like, I think the 90s ring, it's not easier to get a ring in the 90s. It was much harder for most teams to get rings, but by virtue of, like, player movement, it was easier for people to win rings consistently. Whereas, like, this Oklahoma City Thunder team is clearly on the same level as a lot of these historical teams, but I would be shocked if they got to 5 rings. This core, you know what I mean? Where I think if they were in the 60s or if they were in the 90s, like, I would bet on it. Here, it's like, I think they'll probably max out at 3. Max out. Just by the way the CBA works and everything else. LeBron, of course. Come on. You just heard that spiel and you think I was going to say Jordan? Let's look at my Survivor 50 predictions, because we haven't checked in on my predictions in quite a minute. So let's do it. Checking, I don't have any highly confidential footage here. I don't. Oh my god, jump scare. I have to move my camera. Let's put you over here. Let's go here, and let's do it. Okay. All right. So my prediction started with all these people, and then I actually did a boot order prediction. Looking at these initial tribes, what a different time it was. So, Mike White, great prediction. I thought he was going to be first boot. Alas. Great prediction. Gotta make more sense to go on the bottom, right? Yeah. We're crushing it. Still in good shape. Great shape. Amazing. Pretty solid. All right. This one's a miss. This one's a miss. It honestly makes a lot of sense that Joe would make it far. In my head, he would have just been labeled such a threat by virtue of being like the last person people saw on Survivor 48, because obviously they didn't get to see 49. I just didn't imagine how much of a goofball he would be. Like, how everyone would just perceive him as kind of a joke. I found him to be one of the most delightful parts of the season. I think the edit they gave him on 48 is retroactively so funny given the edit he's getting on 50. Like, it's literally like, what if the golden boy of the season got the Dodo edit the following season? I think it's super funny. I love that they did it. Good prediction. It does make sense that Ozzy is making it quite far. I just didn't think he would have the pregame connections, and I thought some of his pregame connections would be damaging. If I knew Suri was a locked-in, like, ride or die from day one, which, people were, like, the pregame press indicated that. I was kind of more basing it off of how, they had interacted on previous seasons. But, like, that helps him a lot. How many times has Suri bailed out Ozzy already this season? I really do think if Ozzy wins this season, in my opinion, it's a very low-tier win. I think if Suri wins, it's one of the best ever. If Ozzy wins, it's like, how much, like, where does he fall in the winner pantheon? What's this winning game? Is it, like, top 30 of the 50? Like, I don't think so. It's just tough to see how much agency he specifically has. And look, if he wins, it's going to be because he ends up cutting Suri or making some moves down the stretch. If it just happens that, like, Suri gets cut, Ozzy ends up in Final Tribal because he wins a challenge or two, uses an idol, and he wins, there's not much there. But, I think it is very impressive how he kind of admitted his flaws and is trying to, like, work in a way that accommodates his flaws. So many people, I think, in Ozzy's position would try to be like, you know what, I'm really going to get a strategic handle on this game. It's kind of like JT. JT was the, charming whatever guy. But they thought Steven was the strategic engine, so when he comes back, he's like, I'm going to be the strategic engine. Didn't work out that well. With Ozzy, it's like, you know what, I'm the challenge guy. I yield. And I think it took him a lot of times to realize that. On, 16, he certainly was a little bit more trying to play that mastermind game, or at least running the majority alliance. Now, this one. I said he'd be the Yule of the season. Was that not the perfect prediction? Colby literally was Yule. Winners at War Yule, to be clear. Emily's great. I don't know. Is she really drawing dead, or is it just the edit that's making her draw dead? Is her position that dire? Because well, you got to think that someone like Devins goes first. The idol obviously complicates that. But I do think she's the type of player who reaches Final Tribal can win. I don't think people view her as, like, a terrible player as much as she's, like, a chaotic agent, I don't know. If they're trying to set her up for a no vote trial, like, in my opinion, Joe and Jonathan are drawing dead in a jury context much more than Emily. And positionally, I don't think Emily is that cooked.
I do, and I'll tell you why. Because I think they not only see her as, like, this chaos agent, they also see her as, like, a very competent player. It's not somebody like Coach, who's like, okay, he's a little nuts, but, you know, we can take care of him. I think they don't see Emily as, like, someone that's manageable.
I get it, it's different from Coach, but I do think Emily is not perceived as, like, she can make something happen by herself. Like, she's not going to go on an immunity run. And we're at the stage of the game where you have to get rid of the alpha threats, and I think Emily is below that. I think Devins is still obviously public enemy number one. Very quickly, people start thinking about Suri. I think Ozzy has been brought up every week for the past few. Like, I think Emily is in a position where, like, if she can just make it one more vote getting rid of someone random, if, like, Joe goes tonight, that should be Emily's goal. Get rid of someone kind of useless. And then it becomes, let's take out the threats and maybe Emily can figure something out. But I just think, like, her edit is kind of bad, but I think her position's actually, like, okay. And we know she has connections to Suri and connections to Ozzy, and, like, the game becomes fluid, especially when they're trying to ham-fist a ton of twists in. This was kind of off, but not that bad. Kyle. Damn. Pretty good. Pretty close. So glad she got booted here. She really was, like, the dead weight in the final 10, so it's always nice to see that person get removed. This would mean he could get eliminated tonight and get this placement, depending on how it all works out. But this feels good. You know, I think if I had to guess his placement, I'd probably guess 8th. 7th, I think, is pushing it. The idea that he can make the finale is hard to believe. I think he's really disadvantaged by the fact that idols are stupid this season. Because, as much as people want to hate, he would have found idols, right? And he's managed to get a fake one, and now he has a real idol, and, like, that could buy him a little bit of time. But I do think if he could just do the Edge of Extinction, idle, go back, immediately start looking, idle, immediately go back and start looking, he's the only one who would do that, right? And maybe Ozzy'd follow him, maybe Rizzo. He doesn't seem like the type. You know, I think, weirdly enough, I think Devins has been disadvantaged by the nature of the twist this season. Numbers on the left represent my predictions preseason. Yeah, I don't know. Christian, you forget, like, based on the pacing of the season, it kind of feels like he got 7th. You know what I mean? When in reality, like, 11th on a 24-person cast. I'm definitely rationalizing here. I just feel like he got to about the position I was expecting, which is like the mid to late game. I mean, I'm between, does he lose in Final Tribal or does he get 4th? Right? Those are really my two most likely outcomes here. I think he'd make a good case in Final Tribal, honestly. I just struggle to see who beats him. Like, are you really going to tell me that it's going to be Rizzo and Ozzy in the final 3 and they're going to vote for Ozzy? If it's Rizzo and Aubrey, they vote for Aubrey? Like, Rizzo's game is so much better and so much, like, there's so many less flaws, and I feel like he's going to be the type of guy to be able to explain his game well. It's just hard to imagine. Is it just like, the perception, it's the Riz God, you can't vote for this guy? Like, maybe. But the only people who I think should destroy him in Final Tribals, like Suri, Devins, Tiffany, I have no idea. Like, I just have no sense of the jury's read on her. I don't know. Like, I'm starting to think Rizzo might be 4th, because I do think he'd have a good shot in the jury, just based on who he could end up against. But, I don't know. I can't make sense of Tiffany. I don't know. She's probably going to end up getting 5th somehow, but we move. The one and only. Shoutouts to Nutri-Grain bars. Delicious. I don't know about Suri. I mean, people are freaking out. I think I think there's like a 0% chance she wins, but there's really no reason she should get voted out tonight or the like. She should make it to finale and then get voted out. It'd be weird for me if she got cut this early. The thing that I could see happening is like there's some form of collective action against Suri and Ozzy has an idol, so it falls on Suri. I think that is an option. You know, if there is a medevac to Rizzo or something, or like with the number she has right now, she should have kind of a chokehold over at least this vote. But I don't know. We'll see. I think this was an inspired prediction. It was wrong. I can live with this one. The vision was there. There was a world he survives that vote, and then he's still around. Jonathan feels like the secondary character of the season. Like, whoever ends up winning, Jonathan's going to be the second place story. I think he's going to get second. I think he's going to get votes. I think he's played a totally fine game. It's just a little bit easier for a guy like Jonathan who has such a, I guess, like, spotless perception as, like, an honest guy. The issue is when you have that perception and then you deviate from that in your gameplay, a lot of people look at you as, like, the devil. Right? If Dan Giesling betrays you, it's like, okay, well, what was I supposed to expect? If Russell Hans gets you, you know. But then when it's, who's a good example, like Dawn, or really it's the mom archetype that usually gets this kind of shit on them. Joe from 48. I think Jonathan probably is just going to be a guy who loses the jury. But I feel vindicated about this prediction. I feel like I was very high on Jonathan when other people weren't. Got a bit sloppy with the Aussie stuff last week. I agree, but you got to make something happen, and he doesn't have a ton of numbers that he can wrangle together. Like, if you're Jonathan, what are you supposed to do? Like, what's your coalition? There's just not much, right? Like, he needs to rile up people against Suri. It's like, well, you're gonna get Tiffany to side with you? Ozzy and Rizzo are off limits. Maybe you can get Devins just because he's on the outs. Same with Aubrey. Like, I don't know. It's just a tough spot for Jonathan, and I think he's going to be the guy who's just, like, on the bottom but dragged to the end in a similar to, like, a Jake way or maybe even Owen in moments. Now, I do think Aubrey is probably one of the best positioned people left because Suri does like Aubrey, and she does have a relationship with Devins, and she does have a relationship with Jonathan, and, like, she has her thing with Tiffany. Like, weirdly enough, we arrive at, what is it, the final 9, final 8, and she's, like, the best connected person despite her social game being, like, bad. Allegedly, I don't know. My thesis for why Aubrey was going to win Survivor 50 was a very simple one. It was, she is the best player there with the lowest threat level. Who's the actual best player on the cast? Well, you could argue Suri, you could argue D, some people would argue Ozzy, you know, you can make a lot of arguments. Aubrey's an excellent player. I think anyone debating that is silly. She played 3 times before this, done very well twice, and in the third time I thought was okay. She comes back even when she's doing poorly, because it's what's happened this season. The winning game's been bad. She's on the bottom, benefiting from idols being given to her, wasting that idol, getting caught in lies, seemingly having very few social connections until recently. But when you have a baseline strategic understanding of the game and you're relatively social, right? Like, Aubrey is clearly not Rizzo in terms of the class clown, but one-on-one, people connect with her. So despite theoretically seemingly everything going bad for Aubrey, she kind of ends up in an okay spot. Now, the edit is the edit. There's been a lot of, like, why is Aubrey getting content right now? And why is the content not more negative? I think she's the winner. Just reading everything. Reading the edit. The game position. My just doubts of Suri's ability to win. I think she's going to win. But it's a weird game. It's weird. Stony Balonies, thank you for the prime. Yo, what's going on? So my predictions weren't bad. Who do I think is final tribal right now? I lock in Aubrey and Jonathan. And that third spot is tough. Anonymous, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Hope you're doing well. How you doing? Who got some subs? Anthony? I don't recognize the other names, but good for all of you guys. But thank you, Anonymous, for the 5 gifted. I hope you're doing well, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you are. I appreciate it. Do you guys want to do a quick Big Brother check-in before we dive into Survivor before the episode? We've already dove in a bit, but we'll dive in a little bit more. But again, thank you, Anonymous. Okay. Where does Mickey rank as a winner today? I remember at the time thinking he was just another one-dimensional comp beast, but on a rewatch, I was pleasantly surprised with his strategic chops. How does he rank against the winners who came after him? Okay. This should be simple. Is he better than Cody? No. Is he better than Xavier? No. Is he better than Taylor? I think he's actually a very similar player to Taylor. I think he's worse. Not in terms of like how they play, but just in terms of like their ranking. I think I'd have him pretty close. There was a while where I think he was really overrated as a winner. I think at this point people have like normalized a little bit. Basically, I think Taylor I trust a lot more. Obviously, as a social player, she's way better. Strategically, I think they're both kind of a mess. I just think Jackson is such a better competitor. And that's a huge deal. The thing, Taylor's good, but Jackson really is a comp beast. It's basically a classic question of, do I like someone with a good social game or someone with good comp ability? It depends on the season. But I think considering how, like, I cannot imagine Mickey winning any modern season with the new casting initiatives and just, like, the more diverse cast in general, I just think he's drawing dead. So I'll go Taylor. Is he better than Jag? I think Jag's probably a better player, but the winning game is the winning game. It's not close. I think like if I did New Era winners ranking, you could not convince me that Ashley is a better player than Jag. You just couldn't do it. But I would have Ashley better than Jag because you just have to, because at a certain point the results have to matter. So, you know, obviously Chelsea's better, and if we're ranking Ashley versus Mickey, I think you have to rank Ashley better as well. But I just think it's like, it's really hard because I just feel a certain way about certain players, and the evidence, or at least the data we have, suggests otherwise, and it's kind of annoying. But I think Mickey is like a weird one because I think people forget how much he needed his comp wins. Usually I think the way people remember Big Brother 21 is like, okay, it's the racist season, they got rid of all the people of color. That happened. And then it was like this majority alliance of white people, and then Cliff kind of fucks that alliance up, and it ends up with Jackson and Holly comping out. I think that's like the narrative of the season. I think what people leave out is like, Mickey was basically being targeted final 10, 9, 8. Like, he was the target way before the comp run, in terms of like the HOHs going back and forth. He won a lot of clutch vetoes that he needed to win to save himself. Thank you, McCore. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. 2 years. Good for you. And me. So I just think, like, Mickey is overrated quite a bit. The credit I'll give him is he's a comp beast, and his maneuvering at the final 5, people overstate how bad of a move it was for Cliff. I think it was the right move for Cliff, but I think it was a great move by Mickey regardless. Part of Cliff's calculation was his belief that Mickey actually might take him to the end, or there's a greater chance that Mickey would take him to the end over someone like Tommy. So it's hard to criticize that. I mean, that is a master stroke. It's like same level as like Dane, what he did in the Final Four. It's just, what do you do with like this super flawed player who should have been out several times, who makes an excellent move at the Final 5? I don't know. Casting rumors for Trader should start soon. Saw Russell Hantz said he was cast for something. Could be him. Russell Hantz is a pathological liar. Let's get that straight. It would not surprise me if he was asked for things. If he's not on House of Villains, at some point I'd be shocked. I'm sure he's been asked, and I feel like he would say yes. I think they should have him on, too. Like, let's be honest, that is not a show built on great people. Like, a lot of them are cool and chill, and, like, being on House of Villains does not make you a villain in real life. But I don't think they have the same, like, moral reservations as maybe Survivor, maybe Big Brother. Are Suri and Russell friends? I think they're on good terms. Suri would, like, not get mad at me, but, like, warn me in the house to not talk bad about Russell. I guess she's not here to warn me. But, yeah. It was... Suri is, She was like, I like Russell. She said she would have voted for Russell at the end of his second season, which I was like, that's kind of confusing based on who else was in the finals, but, you know, we move. Maybe she was just saying philosophically she would have voted for him. He'd be diabolical as a traitor. He'd be the worst traitor ever. He'd be, like, Russell should not go on traitors. He has no chance.
He's probably in House of Villains. Don't they film right now?
But that's what I was saying. I think he is. That'd be my guess, but he'd be the worst traitor ever. He's either a faithful who's going to get targeted as a traitor or a traitor who's going to get targeted as a traitor because he's Russell fucking Hantz. And I understand not all the Bravo celebrities are, like, aware of Russell's game in Samoa, but the vibes are there. They're going to ask around and say, who's this guy? Is the biggest villain in Survivor history. So yeah, Russell would be cooked. Your Russell troll under a bridge impression. I don't remember doing that. That might have been pushing it. Yeah, I just don't think he's underrated as a winner. It depends on where people rank him. He's not one of the worst, but he's bottom 10 easily. Did anyone like the coup d'etat? No. Well, look, people did like the coup d'etat. People voted for Jeff to get the coup d'etat. I just don't think people on Big Brother Reddit are the type who would have done that. I do think, like, people would be surprised if, you know, the Big Brother Reddit was active during BB11. Maybe it was. I assume not. And people were talking about the live feeds. They probably did want the power to get blown up. And, like, on Big Brother 25, if there was a coup d'etat that you could have voted to give America to overthrow Jag and Matt, people would have loved it. You know what I mean? People would have called it bullshit, of course, but that doesn't mean people weren't like, yes, let's do it. So I think it was probably that. It's just the fact that it's like a fan-voted advantage. Like, obviously, it's not going to go to someone who the hardcore fans are probably rooting for. We hated Jesse back then, so yeah, that's what I figured.
Sorry. I was like, oops, I did it on camera.
It's kind of slippery.
Thank you.
So my prediction is it's hated more now than it was previously. Does Victor win the game without the co-HOH? It's a great question. Probably not. It's too early in the game. But I think Victor is a bad player. Like, he was a bad player in BB18. So. Where else do we go? Nicole and Cliff, biggest fumble in BB history. Ah! We're not talking about it. Most boring winner. Who's the most boring winner in Big Brother history? It's a good question. I think probably Casey. I think it is Casey, because I think BB20 being entertaining sometimes obfuscates how boring Casey was as a player and as a winner. The thing I'll give Derek is, like, I think Derek was able to wrangle a very interesting cast of characters to the end of the game, if that makes sense. You know, like, while I do think Derek himself is a pretty bland personality, he was so masterful in how he played the game that I think that by itself was interesting. Casey had this weird, mushy, middle gray area where she was, like, pretty good at the game, pretty okay at strategy, good socially, good at comps, but she didn't ever, like, manipulate people. She never really had control. She locked in a final two with the best player day one. Like, it's not just about personality. It's, like, personality plus how she actually played. And she played such a boring fucking game and won. And it was not even a bad... Like, Josh is a lot more interesting as a player, not just a character, because of the weird-ass game he played. Drew. I'm not a BB5 expert. You guys are going to have to... the way I see people talk about Drew today, you'd think he's, like, the fifth Beatle. Hayden has to be up there. Maybe I just found him so fun on Survivor. Also, he got in fights in BB12. Basically, everybody did. It was hard not to, but he was getting involved. He's not on that same level. I don't think Cody on BB22, again, I think it was a very impressive game, and, like, I just always liked Cody's personality. I don't know. He may have said that the feed should be removed, but I've always just found Cody a relatively easy presence to watch. So I think it's Casey for me. Xavier, I've heard a lot as well. It's just weird because I've met Xavier and he's just a ball of energy. I would say Jordan. Nah, Jordan, absolutely not. She's funny and she gets in huge fights. Create a sentence without using the word like. Yeah. People are saying Xavier, Cody, Xavier, Casey, Xavier, Casey, Derek. Yeah, I just would rule Derek out of this list because I think the game was really impressive, and I think like that in and of itself is not boring. Ashley is the superior player. Any guess who's going to be on this panel when I hit this button? Who do you guys think? I would put like a 90% it's Morgan, 5% it's Steve, 4% it's Vince, 1% everybody else. It's a 95-4-1 pie chart. Yeah, you got to actually give another percent to just Dan or Dr. Will. Oh, it's Morgan. Okay. The 90% bettors, congratulations. Let's see the argument. However, as time passed, my mind changed. I now truly believe Ashley was the strongest player in the season. I have more faith in Ashley executing her strategy on most seasons as opposed to Morgan executing hers. Ashley had far more game awareness. She understood the house dynamics perfectly. That's just not true. I get annoyed with that. I complain about this all the time. The good reads people who have 70 bad reads and 70 good reads do not have good reads. Sometimes you just don't get punished for your bad reads because you're not very active. or your reads are not consequential enough to matter. Ashley did not have good reads for the first half of the season. The second half of the season, when things simplified, I think she had a good read on the house. But everyone knew Morgan was the alpha threat. So I don't think that was necessarily a super impressive read in and of itself. But I think Ashley did maneuver optimally for the second half of the game, which is all you can ask for. There was a point where the only reason Morgan was still in the game was because of Ashley. I think Ashley had a lot of people in her corner trying to help her as well. It's just a weird game where you say Morgan's only there because of Ashley. Ashley's only there because of Morgan too. Vince is only there because of Morgan. And Morgan's only there because of Vince. There's so many pivot points in the game. So many. I'm just thinking of when Ashley was almost the replacement nom on Lauren's HOH. Ashley campaigned, but so did Mickey and so did Rachel. And I think it was the force of everyone campaigning that got Ashley to stay off the block, where she would have been evicted that week. More than likely. She has the blockbuster, and maybe she can flip the vote, But now is it okay, you give Ashley credit for getting these people to campaign for her? I don't know. Do you give Ashley credit for convincing Morgan to keep Ashley around when she had all the power all those weeks? You certainly can. I understand that argument. I don't think it's crazy. It's just then don't you give Morgan credit for Ashley choosing to keep Morgan around? If you're giving people credit for other people saving them, then essentially everyone should get credit for every other player's choice to save them. I should get credit for Jag keeping me. Jag should get credit for me keeping me. Me keeping him. It's all just kind of what did the guy say? If you don't win, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Both Ashley and Morgan played really impressive games. I think Ashley has the edge. Okay. That's good. Someone agrees with me. Huge. I guess the people who claim her as a good player didn't watch feeds. As you mentioned, her best ability was having good reads, but those reads never amounted to anything or were carried out, so it essentially didn't matter that she was aware of all house dynamics. I take Ashley as the one who survived a clearly split house with two clear leaders. If Vinny and Rachel weren't winning, it could have been anybody regardless of how they played. I think that's relatively fair. I just think, you have to give Ashley credit for recognizing her path to victory, and then when she got that opportunity, taking it. That's the credit I think you have to give Ashley. She was not in a position to actively maneuver to the end. I don't know what Ashley's haters would have wanted her to do. Because if you're saying make a move yourself, what does that mean? win a competition. I hope not. That's lame. She could have maybe kept Keanu at the final 5, but are her odds of winning better with Keanu there? It's like, at best, it's probably the same, but she's just arbitrarily, like, exerting power to make a move. She convinced Morgan to take her to final 2. I'm not sure if she actually would have, but, like, she got about as close as you can get. I think in a lot of ways the game is flawed, and Ashley, like, she had a 1% chance or a 10% chance of winning the game, and the 10% chance happened, and she, was opportunistic. But I don't think it was like, okay, if things worked out differently, Ashley would have adapted and figured it out. It's like there was kind of one path, and the path happened. So. The reason why Vince, Zach, and Morgan became a target in pre-jury is because of Ashley. She recognized them as a power trio in the game and would constantly point it out. She thought Zach loved her, though. The reason why Zach and Vince go up during Ava's HOH was because of the work Ashley did with Mickey. She helped Mickey recognize the power the trio had in the game, so Mickey pushed Ava to put up Zach, and even though she didn't initially want to. It's just like, there's a way to paint every player as the mastermind. In terms of this conversation they had there, and then that person talked to the HOH, and then the HOH made nominations, so it's actually the first person's move. So I think, like, if you were trying to retroactively assign Ashley a lot of credit, you can do it because Ashley is a smart strategic player who made smart strategic moves at times. I just think it's like, you also have to then give Morgan credit and Vince credit for their good moments, right? And look, I think all of this is relatively shaped by, like, the postseason stuff. But I really do think, like, look back to those first couple weeks, the round tables and just how people were discussing, like, Ashley as a player. Like, nothing makes me more upset when people label Ashley a social player. I think her social game is by far her biggest weakness. The physical game is an issue, but, like, a lot of players are not good at competitions. The social game is the worst. The strategic game is solid. That is by far her biggest strength. She's a strategic winner, not a social winner. I prefer strategic winners, personally, but people just labeling her as, like, social because they don't know how else to describe her game. It's like, the social game was kind of tough. What's up, Trey? How are you doing? How's the melee going? What rank are you? I need to know. She was a fly on the wall until a week left. I think this is harsh, too. I think there's a middle ground that must be struck with evaluating Ashley's gameplay. She won because she spent the entire time building relationships. I just don't think that's true. I guess that's my problem is, like, there were so many people in the house who disliked Ashley. And she was able to turn a lot of them into liking her in the last, like, gasp, basically, because she was on the bottom-ish when Morgan and Vince were having their, like, tyranny for 5 weeks. And they were really pissed at Vince, and Morgan and Vince were a duo, and, like, Ashley was able to be on the bottom, and her jury management, which I hesitate to use jury management too much, because I think people overstate its importance a little bit. But I think Ashley's jury management was very intentional and very good, and it led to her having a winning chance. But, like, Ava hated Ashley. Ava and Ashley, like, Ava thought Ashley was not good, did not like hanging out with her, shitted on her the entire season. That was just how it was. The only people who genuinely, like, really liked Ashley as a person, like, Will, for sure. Rachel liked Ashley. I think Morgan genuinely liked Ashley. Vince was not a fan, certainly. Keanu was not a fan. Playing from the bottom privilege. The whole point about playing from the bottom is you're going to get evicted. So if you play from the bottom and make it, that's when you can reap the advantages. So, like, look, I'd rather be in the majority alliance and be hated. But there are benefits of, like, being the person on the bottom. Cory, are you working out? You've lost weight. I've actually gained weight. And I haven't been working out because we've been traveling so much. Showergate. I was telling America, like, when she was doing some of the crazier tweets, I was like, I think the shower is probably 2 hours in retrospect. Thank you, Yucatan. I appreciate it. Takes skill for the survivability for sure. Well, look, it's threat management. And, like, if you have in Big Brother, you want to have a huge threat at the final 5. That's generally it. Like, generally those players win more often than, like, the people who have no threat level at the final 5. Because usually threat level is built by, like, competition wins. And, like, if you're going to win them previously, you're probably going to win them going forward. Ashley had, like, a really, really, really low threat level, and I think the threat management was kind of bad. Like, I think you needed to be in a better spot than where she was going into the final 7 and 6. But she was able to make a case, and she played a good enough game to genuinely deserve to win over Vince. And, like, I think a lot of times when I criticize Ashley's game or kind of, like, downplay Ashley's game relative to how other people view it, people perceive it as like, well, you're Morgan's friend, you're just propping up Morgan. I think Morgan and Ashley are so similar as players. They're on the same level. Like, they're real. Like, Ashley, I think, is better strategically. I think she has a better read of the house and, generally speaking, knows how to maneuver. I think Morgan's better socially. There was just less people who really disliked Morgan. She didn't have a ton of close connections. Like, Ashley had closer bonds and bigger adversaries, right? Morgan kind of had baseline relationships with a lot of people, and then, like, Vince. And then physically, I think it's obviously, you know, that's one of Morgan's greatest strengths. So, like, their social games, I think, are pretty close, but I think Morgan's is better. Strategically, I think Ashley's better. And physically, it's a huge tiebreaker. Like, comp wins smooth out a lot of flaws as a player. One round of All-Star 3 before Survivor? No. It is a Survivor stream, allegedly. Morgan wasn't better socially. She annoyed a lot of people, including Rachel and Ashley. I think you forget the vitriol people in the house had for Ashley. I think you do. Like, Morgan's flaw was she did not have a very complex web of relationships. Her relationship with Lauren was kind of just nothing. Her relationship with Kelly existed, but it just wasn't, like, foundationally deep enough to, like, be able to use Kelly as social capital. You know, there was just nothing there. People underestimated Ashley, but they liked her. I fear you didn't watch the season. I don't know what to tell you, man. And I think a lot of the Ashley hate was forced, and I think it was out of hand. I think the way Vince treated Ashley, it wasn't like a reflection of, oh, Ashley is this horrible person, and Vince is just responding to that horribleness. It's like, no, there was unreasonable hatred. But I do think that the way Ashley carried herself, whether you think it's intentional or unintentional, just made a lot of people dislike her in the house. And she was able to smooth it out towards the end, which you give her credit for. Like, they voted to give her a lot of money in the end. That means a lot. I just think you have a warped perception, or you're being very revisionist in how Ashley was perceived in the house. What should the Rockets do this offseason to get better? Fucking tear it down. I think they should trade for Giannis. I think their young core is so bad. Their young core is not in the, like, stratosphere of OKC or San Antonio, or fuck it, I would trade their entire young core to have Luka. Obviously, right? Everyone would. But, like, I think the Lakers have a brighter future than the Rockets. Şengün, Amen Thompson, Reed they're all fine. Like, I think Amen Thompson's the one I would try to build on. But, like, you're not winning shit with Şengün. You just yeah, I gotta ban you. Yeah, I gotta I gotta ban you. I gotta ban you. And if you said I hate Ashley, you'd also be banned, to be clear. What about the Florida Panthers? What about them? By the way, speaking of Florida, I'll be there in 3 days. Pull up. You don't believe in Reed Shepherd? Who could believe in Reed Shepherd? We got Survivor in 10 minutes, everyone. 10 minutes. I'm going to do my episode predictions in 5 minutes. When's your co-op start? It's in the summer. You always know too much about Northeastern. Fitting in any golf rounds? Yes. Probably 2. But yeah, I got classes starting tomorrow, though. We are back to school. Ah! But yeah, I had to do all my readings today. Because you go to Northeastern? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. All right, let's just do it now, actually. Survivor 50 predictions tonight. I think we're going to have 2 people booted. I think the math, we just kind of need it. My predictions, I think we're losing Devins. He's probably not the first boot. He has an idol. If he goes out with an idol, it's the most embarrassing shit ever. I think his idol is going to be gone one way or another. I think he's cooked. And the other one is tough. I think Aubrey will be fine. I think Jonathan will be fine. I do think Suri will be fine. I think Tiffany will be fine. Is it a super bold prediction to say maybe one of Ozzy or Rizzo goes? All right, I've made my prediction. The 2 people leaving today will be Emily and Rick Devins. That's my prediction. I think the nerds are cooked. I think the nerds are gone. This season has been building up this trio forever. I think they're going to be in the game towards just about the end. I can't make sense of Emily's edit. She doesn't feel like she's losing in Final Tribal. I already talked about it. I think if she gets to Final Tribal, she has more of a chance than this show has been showing. So I just don't think she's going to make it to Final Tribal. And Devins, I don't think he can go home with an idol in his pocket. It'd be such clown behavior. Especially for a guy like Devins, where it's like, everyone knows you're a target, and you know you have a good shot of finding another idol if you use this one. It would just be absurd. We've been getting a lot of Rick, but it makes sense why. Like, that doesn't raise red flags to me. It'd be weird if we weren't getting a lot of Devins, considering the nature of these last couple episodes. Who do I think loses in Fire? I think it's Rizzo. I think it's Rizzo because I think Rizzo would win in the final 3 against a lot of people. I think he'd lose against Suri, maybe Tiffany, but, like, it's just hard for me to imagine Rizzo losing to Aubrey. His game is so much better. And, like, this is a jury that you think would respect gameplay, and Rizzo certainly hasn't made a ton of people bitter. Seems like everyone liked him. Even the honor and integrity people, I think, would have some respect for him. Like, I don't know. Not complaining. Devin's a great watch. I was seeing Bill Simmons, probably the biggest basketball podcaster. He does all sports, but basketball is his, like, main focus. He was talking about Survivor, saying Devins is the MVP of the season. Which, I do think Suri is, like, she's the answer, to be clear. Suri, Ozzy as, like, a duo. But I do think Suri needs chaotic players around her for Suri to be as entertaining as she is. Like, Suri by herself, I don't think could be as interesting on Survivor because she doesn't get up to the antics, you know? Like, she's just a great player and a great confessionalist, and she's really funny, and, like, she can be a great character on any season. But she needs someone like Devins to pull crazy shit for her to react to. Or she needs someone goofy like Rizzo for her to play off of. Am I saying Suri's a system player? Probably not. But I do think, like, I kind of understand. Bill Simmons is not thinking about it. He's just a casual. But, like, I kind of understand why you'd say Devins is the MVP over Suri. I think it's wrong, but I think, like, Suri requires Heisem to be maximum entertaining. Suri was not as entertaining when Matt and Jag are running the show. When she's playing off of Izzy and Heisem, and, like, that's a good time. Felicia. Bill Simmons is my GOAT. I like Bill Simmons. I don't... he's not very knowledgeable. And he just kind of talks out of his ass a lot. He clearly doesn't watch a ton of the sports he talks about. But I do appreciate his unique way of talking, and I think he's a really good broadcaster. I like how many, like, Bill Simmons isms there are. But I do think Sam Phelan could get on the Bill Simmons podcast. I don't know if he's tried to do it, but he's a huge Survivor fan. Probably saw Sam's season. Sam's a beat writer. Like, I don't know. If I was Sam, I would just tweet at Bill Simmons. See what happens. Wasn't Simmons the Celtics beat writer for a long time? I believe so. He's one of those guys who transitioned to, like, visual media. Okay, I'm going to use the restroom. I'll play you guys a song, and then we'll watch some Survivor, okay? You guys down? I'll crack open a Surfside. It'll get crazy. Let's play Minecraft. Let's, what's a good song? Let's play... I'm looking for a song. I got it. I got it, don't worry.
What song is it?
Change is like my favorite song ever, by the way, by Tupac. Also, the community version is very funny. Let's do it, though. Survivor 50. Let me get the Knicks game on the other monitor. Low-key, I'm rooting for the Sixers tonight, I'll be honest. Yes, we are a Knicks household currently, but I'm going to Florida. My mom from Philadelphia is a huge 76ers fan, so it'll be a bit of my mom versus my girlfriend. It's every every young man's dream. And I want it to be a contested series. America says she's not going to be obnoxious and she's going to be like, yeah, you know, like I just want a good game and not. I want it to be adversarial. That's fun. They'll get into it. They'll bond. So that's the dream. So I want a 1-1 series, basically. Really, we're all just waiting for Timberwolves, Spurs, right? All right, we're here. You know Rizzo was pumped about Mr. Beast. Like, how cool would it be for Suri to have survived that vote? If Suri turns on Ozzy, that's her worst move of all time. I think. So it seems like Suri's actually with Tiffany right now. This sounds like a cool episode right now. I love it. Suri has to make them flush the idols and then make them think that she wasn't doing it on purpose, you know? One of Rizzo or Ozzy to play the idol at the very least. I think she needs Ozzy to keep his idol. I think so much of Suri's winning chances rely on Ozzy winning final immunity or winning immunity at some pivotal moment and then giving her the idol. Final immunity doesn't do anything. The idol is useless. But, like, him winning at 7 or 6 and giving her the immunity. Necklace, not the idol. I think that's, like, her best chance. But she does not benefit at all from Rizzo having an idol. I think she tries to burn Rizzo's first. But Rizzo is much less susceptible to Suri's influence than Ozzy. And Rizzo knows how to hold his idol. Like, the idol... I mean, like, giving up the necklace and using the idol on yourself, if that makes sense. It does. Tiffany just feels like there's always one person every season who occupies the Tiffany role. Like, right now, she's, like, Kara from 37. Or, like, the person who makes the finale who just, like, has a much more understated edit. And, like, you know they're going to get 5th or 4th or 6th or maybe Final Tribal. But I'd be surprised if Tiffany makes Final Tribal and they didn't give her more in the opening episodes. This basketball game is great, though. Right now, if they offered you guys 90-minute Big Brother episodes, would you take them? 3 days a week, 90 minutes. You saying yes or no? No? Bad take. You gotta say yes. Why not? Why not? Just you know, just a little bit more content. You don't gotta watch it. Like, I think I want Unlocked. I want 90-minute episodes. Digital daily. Just give me more, whatever. Then we can have a live HOH. Oh, you sweet summer child. You're going to get more instructions read at you. We're going to have more shout-outs. We're not going to have a live HOH. Not more silly stuff, more strategic talk. I want more silly stuff. I want more character moments. The best part of every Big Brother episode is the one segment that you don't expect. Every time. Barring, like, a crazy fight happens or something. I just think they need to do a better job at making the viewers care about the cast. The viewers should care about Mimi even if the feeders don't. That's the benefit of an edited episode. Is like, you can make the more understated players, you can show their best moment. So when they get evicted, when they get blindsided, it's like emotionally resonant. The veto comp will be 70 minutes. If you guys ever saw the 90-minute Josh Duhamel episode of BB25, like, that's what it would be. Just punishments and longer competition. But that competition had 5 rounds of spinning. It's so funny because the next episode was the Izzy flip that they had to edit into, like, a 9-minute segment. Like, they gave, like, 20 minutes to to Josh Duhamel and 6 minutes to the most pivotal flip of the game. We're back. Oh, these cute little letters.
I haven't been thinking about anything but the game up until this point, but we've gotten our family letters. It's all kind of fresh in our seen my mom's letter. He talked about when she talked about how proud he was. Just about him, because like.
Do they build a new house or keep renting it? They're gonna rent it. It's cheaper to rent it than build.
I didn't want it. I didn't want the letters. But it's nice to have it because it is reminds me.
Low key,
As well. My dad was
I kind of wish I didn't get a letter from Molly. Love you, Molly. Your letter was adorable.
person that you would ever see.
But like,
Was just
I think Molly letter. I would like a letter from Molly now, because she's a much better writer. But back in the day, she was so young that like the words are so simple, or like it didn't convey much. At this point, I'd probably get a letter from America, but I think a letter from like Zach, where like, because I know Zach would be locked in the feeds watching everything.
most challenging experience.
It was super cute getting one from Molly, though. I like it.
Probably be the relationship that I have with my father. I love my family more than anything, but my father just has never been there for me. I don't think it did him justice because he wanted to be there, but you know, he lived in another country.
This is a crazy segment.
Or whatever you said, your dad's gonna be so proud. I don't know. Like, I know that's how I would be with my kids. But
Damn, the hammocks do something to you. It reminded me of Jay and Adam.
he's looking at you. I'm sorry, dude. I'm a bad guy to bounce this off. I don't know much about
I feel you, Asmani, honestly. 26 days. I've never had kids, though. Or, like, I've never been in a serious relationship prior to going into one of these games. I think if I played now, I'd miss America way, way more than I missed my family before. Just because it's a different relationship. Like, I don't know. I was also in college. I'd been away from my family for a while. I didn't miss my family in the house at all. There was a lot to manage. I missed them. It just didn't affect me emotionally much.
you know, that's one of the gifts of this show is the learning process, you know. Yeah, man, listen, I watched the other Aussies and I've heard about the other Aussies. I love this Aussie. Kind of said in the beginning of this game that I was going to try to play more like Oscar instead of Aussie. And I think I have been channeling him without thinking about it because I've been playing a much more social game and it's the only kind of game that he could have played.
I can't tell if this is like a great edit for Ozzy or if something bad's happening to Ozzy. It's one of the two. Like, I don't know. But it's a very touching segment. I like it. Are you watching?
No, I got sucked into my phone.
You're gonna cry when you watch that segment later.
What was it?
It's Ozzy talking about his relationship with his dad.
Damn. Does he have a good one?
Well, he basically, his dad passed away 8 years ago, and in his first season, he kind of talked about his father not being there for him at Final Tribal, and he was saying how he regrets that.
Instability. Aims the snuffer directly at you. Oh, the doghouse floating challenge. Yeah. You remember? It's like a triangle floating in the water. You balance on the water like this. Yeah. Well, I'll have to go get a weird one tonight.
That's a dicey one. I mean, that challenge is super random because it's so hard depending on how the water is. But you'd think Tiffany'd be really good. Tiffany'd be good. Emily'd probably be okay. Ozzy would be really good. Joe's probably okay, but he's a bit big.
We're coming into the final days of this game, and there's 3 idols out there. And at the same time, it's not just the threats from the people with idols, but it's also the threats from the people who are playing really, really good games out here.
And my question is if it's going to be the first round idol flush. For sure. Your idol is the least of people's concerns, I think.
Yeah, I'm almost definitely gonna play it.
Yeah.
And my thing is just
She's
like,
sick.
I hope it's not wasted.
Yeah.
Like let's use it to get someone out.
It's a really insane.
And I'm flexible, but like someone huge. I mean, they love together,
Joe? What do you mean, Joe?
Been running the show. She doesn't have an idol, but she is completely in charge around camp. I see her game style, and she's incredible. When I'm looking at
I think what's so hard for Suri and why Big Brother is tough for her is like the game is so long that the jig is up at some point. Like at some point, people are gonna figure it out, right? Survivor is shorter, but with so many vote offs, I think it eventually like you can't hide the fact that you're puppeteering everything. Thank you, Ren, for the tier 1. I appreciate you. This is a very good episode so far. It's very interesting. They're setting up Suri trying to flush idols, them trying to target Suri. Joe and Jonathan just seem to be chilling. Like, it's just a tough thing about Suri because she plays such a like holistic game. Like, she controls every facet of it, and it's just so hard to like cover that up, you know. Appreciate you too. Wait, did we just do a I did an I appreciate you? You said I appreciate you too, and then I said I appreciate you too. Sorry, that's on me. That one's on me. Nick Sixers 1-point game. Does anyone have some post-apocalyptic media recommendations? I was watching Attack on Titan yesterday. I'm on episode 14 of season 1. I started watching a long, long time ago and then got bored. But I've just heard such good things. And I was watching Blue's stream and she was talking about anime. And I was like, you know what? I've only fully watched through like 2 different animes and I really liked them. So I should just commit to it. So I'm going to start watching Attack on Titan. I've only watched Danganronpa, which was terrible. I love the games, but the anime was horrible. And Steins Gate. Love Steins Gate. And Steins Gate Zero. I watched both of those. Those were excellent. Attack on Titan, I've just heard, you know, it's just great. I just love, like, post-apocalyptic media. I think it's so fun. I Am Legend for a movie. I'd like to watch I Am Legend. Yeah, that's Will Smith, right? Obviously, I've heard of it. I've just never seen it. Maybe I'll try to get America to watch I Am Legend instead of The Martian. I was saying she should watch The Martian because it's the same people as Project Hail Mary. I don't think it's as good, but it's still fun. It's a fun movie. Like, This Is the End. This Is the End is so good. It's such a good movie. It's one of those movies, though, where I'm scared if I ever showed it to America, she'd hate it. Like, Shaun of the Dead. I've never seen Shaun of the Dead. I did watch the one with Woody Harrelson and Michael Cera. That's not Zombieland, is it? It might be Zombieland. Does Stephen King's The Stand count? Maybe. What is it about? Have you guys ever watched The Floor? Not that The Floor. I'm talking about it's like a prison sci-fi. You're on one of like 300 floors. I forget if it's called The Floor. The Platform, maybe? Platform? Something like that. That was a crazy movie. I didn't like it because it was a classic, we care more about the message than the story. But I was liking it while the story was happening. Biggest pet peeve, a movie that thinks its message is more important than its story. The best way to convey your message is through a fully developed story. Pisses me off. All right, here we go. We back. We're going straight to the challenge? This is an early challenge if it's immunity. Bring in the boat. When did Bring in the Boat start happening? I could see Aubrey doing pretty well in this too. Tiffany might win again here. Maybe this is Ozzy's. Oh, is that it? Did I read the edit? Is Ozzy winning immunity breaking the record right now? And that's why they had the emotional Ozzy segment. And it's going to end with Ozzy like crying in confessional. Clocked it. Ozzy's winning immunity. Clocked it. The edit's been pretty good at tricking me this season. Not in terms of who's getting voted out, but in terms of, like, the small stuff. Who's winning immunity and things like that.
Somebody will be the 16th person voted out, but become the 6th member of our jury. In addition, whoever wins this challenge earns an advantage that will happening tonight at Tribal.
Oh God, I'm gonna kill myself. What? Oh, sorry, that was harsh. I've never watched Full Metal Alchemist.
After the challenge is over. Big enough entry?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We'll draw for spots.
Seems like this would be easier with people with smaller feet. Yeah, I think so. I think you want to be light, you want to be agile, you want to have a Tiffany.
She's better at challenges.
But Tiffany and Joe are friends. I mean, it's Devins and Emily get to pick. Devins doesn't have to use his idol, but he has to because
we were talking about doing a Serene earlier, right?
Yeah, where Rick's idol expires at 7, but if no one else knows that, he can easily pretend like it still exists, right? He should be able to. Everyone's gonna assume it expires at 5, but he could keep his idol, vote out Suri. The other tribe, they're gonna wow. So this forces all the idols. I think Ozzy and Rizzo probably play theirs. Devins probably doesn't have to, but he probably will. How does Aubrey survive? Aubrey's on that one. So it's who is it? It's Jonathan, who's safe, obviously. Ozzy, Rizzo, Aubrey, and who's the fourth? Is it Joe? I mean, Joe goes there still. I think Aubrey just votes with Ozzy and Rizzo. I think it's probably Joe and Suri. That's why Devins had that confessional about we got to take out a big threat. Someone like Suri or Joe. So I think it's Suri and Joe who go here, but that's so tough for Suri. You can't be doing a 4-person vote. 4-person votes, 5-person. It's so boring compared to the 9-person. And it all comes down to a random draw, man. I think it's too powerful of an advantage. In a 5-person tribal, you get to vote in both of them. Well, Benry, don't bring it to here. I don't know what you're doing. This is so stupid. That's a bad twist. Suri's advantage, an extra vote. Okay. You're right. She has an extra vote. She still needs one person to vote with her. She needs Tiffany to stick with her, which seems likely. But does her extra vote work in a revote? I assume not, right? I assume not. My entire math of how Suri survives this episode was contingent on her having a 4-person alliance in the final 9. Now she has a 2-person alliance in a group of 5. Throwing in... There's so many easier ways to do double vote-offs than dividing, but... What pisses me off... Look, this is simple. Why are we doing so many twists in the post-merge, not the pre-merge? We could have just done, like, the first 4 episodes had 2 tribals each. And that fixes everything. I guess the point is they wanted to have more of their cast for longer to ensure that, like, Suri gets enough screen time, and Christian gets enough screen time, and Devins gets enough, and Jonathan gets enough.
That's literally it.
No, Superfly, no. No, I'm gonna ban you. No, I'm timing you out just for, like, like, it's in the title. It's in the title. What do you want from me? How loyal is Tiffany really? It only started 2 episodes ago. Just based on what they've shown us. You know, we can't just guess, right? From what we've shown, it seems like Tiffany genuinely is tight with Suri right now. Joe, Devins, and Emily vote Suri, and it still goes to a tie with the revote, and they still vote her out. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't get a extra vote in the revote, right? That seems like a flaw. I feel like you should be able to. JPR, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate you. Because Tiffany winning that immunity... If Tiffany wins that immunity, it's over. Like, Tiffany is chilling. Suri's probably chilling. Oh, man, that's tough. But thank you, JPR. I also don't like when they arbitrarily have twists at different times. Like, why does this immunity have so much power associated with it?
first 5K? Hard. His first day behind the wheel. Little bumpy.
How do I word this?
For your first. Not easy. Progressive understands first times can be challenging. It's why we created the Up Payment Program. Down
Maybe
payment
add a
assistance
picture
for first-time home buyers.
of Suri and Felicia in the kayak.
Maybe.
Learn more at progressive.com/hope in the house.
For Jim, life's big moments happen in seconds, like falling in love with Abby in as little as 2 seconds, or proposing to her in 78 seconds. Then Jim had the hardest conversation of his life in 100 seconds when he learned that he had cancer. Because life's big moments add up in seconds, Jim and his doctor chose Devo-Qvantic for its administration time, an injectable immunotherapy given in as little as 180 seconds. It may be used alone in adults to treat melanoma, a type of
It could also just be like, I think I've seen this one before, and it could be a picture of
Devo-Qvantic can cause your immune system to
Suri
in your body during
in the kayak, but you replace Felicia's face with the other tribe's face.
chest pain, shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat, diarrhea, constipation.
I don't have the effort to do that.
I could do one on Snapchat real quick.
If you want to, you can, but Ozzy can't be in the kayak. That doesn't make sense.
No, I know. I'm sure I could find a picture of Suri in the kayak with, like, talking to Jared.
Oh.
Like, Jared in a different, you know?
You're fine, Superfly. I have to make my stance known.
Devo-Qvantic can harm your unborn baby because every second counts. But Devo-Qvantic.
At Wayfair, delivery and setup can be as easy as, well, doing nothing.
That was fast.
Don't worry about it. We can just chill, babe. You don't gotta.
Okay, yeah, I'm having a hard time with this.
Room choice delivery and fast expert setup. Wayfair, every style, every home.
This Mother's Day weekend, I want you to meet my shape. Gather your flock. Get to the theater. And grab your popcorn to see the history, critics are calling among the best films of the year.
What's the Survivor hashtag? Is it just hashtag Survivor and hashtag Survivor50? Is that it? Benry, I don't like the way you're typing. I'm gonna be honest. It's giving spoilers. You might not be. I'm assuming it's not spoilers, and I'm hoping it's not spoilers, but it's giving spoilers.
Last chance to earn a spot in the finals. 75 minutes, 2 taste profiles, 1 dish. $1 million could be yours.
Alright, beat it. I hate how they do this on Survivor, and this is where I like Big Brother better.
What do you mean?
How they like don't give us every single time they like scramble, and then they have one person being like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know which way the vote's gonna go. And then Tribal, we're supposed to be like, there's supposed to be this big reveal, and it's like, oh my god. I get that Big Brother does this too, right?
Yeah.
For the episodes,
Veto meetings and.
but the live feeds guarantee, like, I get to see for the most part,
Yeah.
right? We're missing like an hour or two, but I get to see what people are thinking and how they're gonna vote and how they come to that conclusion. Because here I'm like, okay, I don't know.
Well, I think the benefit of Survivor is it's able to make more legendary players because it's able to smooth out people's flaws and whatnot. And like,
Of course.
Big Brother really is the anomaly in terms of like being able to like feeds don't exist on any other show. The Genius doesn't have feeds, you know.
Well, it just feels like very geniusy, where they're like, you know, aha, this is what.
One of the Genius is different. The Genius is like Aubrey's going, Aubrey's going, Aubrey's going. The vote ends up being Rizzo or someone, and then it goes what, and then it flashbacks.
Yeah,
Like,
Genius does this. Yeah.
I would love to see a Genius edited Survivor season.
But I hate
That'd be funny.
Rizzo being like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I'm like, let's see the conversation. Let's like, is he actually gonna talk to Ozzy? How is that gonna go? What are they gonna do on the other tribe? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. This is interesting. I mean,
I think tribals are so boring for the most part. They're all just talking in quotes that they come like. They like memorize before going in like 5 different quotes, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna use this at tribal. They talk in metaphors. They're just like being vague with each other.
I think Tribal's hit or miss. I think sometimes it feels like a waste. Sometimes it's really fun. Last episode was certainly very fun, where Devins is exposing everybody.
2 episodes ago, it wasn't. Literally every single person that Jeff asked a question to responded with some quote, and it's like, I don't care about this. Like, I don't care about it at all. Anyway.
She's pissed. I don't know. Right now, my predictions, I think Emily's going to go. It could be Suri. It really could be Suri. I just think if Suri doesn't split this vote, it's a big, like this has always been one of Suri's biggest weaknesses. In terms of the nerdy game mechanic vote stuff, she did the 3-2-1. Like, she needs her 3-2-1 energy right now to do this vote split. They gotta split the votes. Not splitting the votes is insane. And if she fails to do it, that's a huge mistake. But I do think she'll figure it out or just get it right, and Emily will go. As for the other beach, I think we're losing Joe. I think Ozzy's going to play it, and we're losing Joe. So my guess is Joe and Emily. But we'll see. It means Devin survives. Good for him. He could pretend like his idol still works. So, ready for Americory's coverage of BB28. Can't wait. I like how you call it coverage. I guess it's fair, but, you know. 3 on Devins, 1 on Emily is what they think. Yeah, you should do 2-2. There's no reason not to. Your extra vote's never going to be more valuable than now. In a 4-person tribe or 5-person tribe. Good episode, though. This has been fun. I think there's a lot of possibilities going into these tribals.
It's a good Knicks game.
It's a good Knicks game. There's no Embiid, and I think Karl Anthony Towns has been out for basically the whole game, right? A lot tonight is misdirection. Who knows who leaves tonight? I think it's been a great edit.
We're here.
They've given us a lot of possibilities. All of them, I feel like there's enough reasoning to justify.
I'm gonna watch way more Survivor. call them double banishments on Survivor. Double boots on Survivor. I just feel like this ensures that the tribal is. This felt a little shorter than the usual tribal council, and I hate tribal councils, so this is good. Oh, something crazy going on. I think Morgan raided you.
Oh, did she? Wait a minute. What's going on, Morgan? Why are you raiding me 5 minutes before tribal? You're raiding me 2 minutes before we figure out if Cerie's getting voted off? What is this Survivor stream you just executed?
She doesn't watch with the East Coast. Don't spoil it for her.
Oh. Well, good thing is, I haven't spoiled anything. I've just laid out a possibility. She's one of 9 people left. Anyone can get voted off.
Babe, no.
Honestly, a Pacific time person couldn't care less. Cory looking fresh. I appreciate it. I'm on the West Coast, so I'm going to go, but bye. See ya. Appreciate the raid. Welcome, everybody. If you want to go to earlier in the stream.
Wait, actually, though, when we were thinking about, like, what city to move to,
yeah.
and, like, where to go,
no,
a big con for the West Coast was not getting to watch our shows on time.
Oh, no, we would. We would just use a VPN. Yeah.
No, we would. We'd find a way, but...
if you guys want Big Brother talk, you go back in the VOD. Someone was debating Morgan versus Ashley as a player. I don't know if you guys have heard that debate.
Oh.
But if you want to look back.
Don't start.
I'm going to muting. Maybe I just don't care about spoilers. If you don't care about spoilers for Survivor, just go to Twitter. Everything's spoiled. If you do care about spoilers, turn off your phone for the next 3 weeks. Follower goal met. Oh my god. Cloud9 just gained an extra citizen. It's me. Can you not watch them live on the West Coast? Like East Coast time? That's insane. No, you can't. You got to use a VPN. So you can, I guess.
Or
but the point is, there's no...
But someone like me, I would not, you know...
She says someone like me.
Well, like, I'm not going to do that. Where do I get a VPN?
You search up VPN.
No, babe, it's a lot harder than that. I tried to watch BB Can. When I was watching BB Can, I paid, like...
I think you're capable of so much more than you think.
Do you pay for your VPN?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then I paid too. I was trying to find, like, a free way of...
You could usually find a free way...
BB Can 12.
You could probably find a free CBS link, but it's just probably, like, ad...
Well, no, I found something, and it was, like, $10 a month, and I was pissed.
NordVPN hashtag ad. I do have a NordVPN link. Do exclamation mark Nord. Does that work? I set it up so long ago. I don't think anyone's used it. Okay, let's try another one. All right, wait, fair enough. Fair enough. Nothing exists. I am a Nord. Theoretically, I'm affiliated with NordVPN.
Babe, did you tweet?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's going viral right now, currently.
I gotta go like this.
Wait.
Wait. It's back on. Oh, let's go.
Jeff, I got this Mr. Beast title burning a hole in my pocket tonight. So I would like to play it for myself. Thanks.
Can't play it though, right? Oh.
Yeah, what do you mean? Let's just read let's watch the votes. I'll explain after. I don't know what. So we shouldn't see more than this. We should see one more if they split the vote, maybe. It's got to be Emily, and Suri split the vote. Did they split?
Oh, that's their second.
This has to be an Emily vote. they're not going to do a weird, this does not count. She did it. Good for her, splitting the vote. Let's fucking go, Suri. I'm so happy for her. Good for Suri. I can't help but root for her. I really thought this would be a weak point. I guess they knew about the extra vote in some capacity. I'm really happy Suri didn't get screwed in this way. Good for her, too. There was a lot of ways.
I thought you said Devins could only use the
It expires at the final 7.
Oh, I thought you said at final 7. So,
No.
Oh, even if he plays it, he can't.
They don't vote out Suri here. Come on. Well, Suri's safe now because it'll go to rocks otherwise.
Oh,
Wait. Never mind. I'm confused why there's so many votes. Aren't they not supposed to be re-voting, Suri and Emily? I'm so confused. Did Suri get an extra vote? She gets to use her extra vote in the revote? Because that changes everything. But is that what happened? That was 6 votes,
yeah,
right?
that was 6 votes.
Am I dumb? She got it. She got her extra vote twice. I think it makes... That's how extra votes should work, in my opinion. But I'm not sure if that's how they do work.
Oh, she's gonna go sit down?
Straight to the jury.
Ooh.
Did it make sense for Rizzo to not tell Ozzy? We don't know if he did. I could easily see Ozzy playing the idol and then Rizzo saying, like... So the reason I told him was... Fun plan by Emily, though. Maybe her better odds would actually be convincing Devins to play it on her. It was 6 votes. Okay, well that reveals a quirk about how extra votes work. But that was a extremely impressive use of an extra vote to guarantee a split.
Emily.
Yeah. A very twist-influenced episode, of course, but there's a lot of maneuvering within the twist,
They
which...
would have had to delay the second tribal, because I would have been crying.
like, with that loud?
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to... to do... If I were Emily, is what I'm saying.
But the issue here is, if Ozzy plays the idol, aren't they voting Aubrey? Like, they haven't really floated Joe as a target. It might just be Ozzy.
I think Ozzy fucking up and telling Aubrey everything kind of changed Rizzo's mind, and he's like, yeah, this guy's not worth saving. This guy's kind of a...
I just think it's really good
Like,
for...
what else is he gonna spill if I keep him?
I just think it's great for Rizzo to go into next round with Ozzy and Suri as an obvious duo and Ozzy without an idol. You know what I mean? Like, that's a huge shield who are loyal to him, like...
Suri's in the chat.
Oh, the one and only? Is that Mike? Because it's been a while since Mike's been in chat. But I thought that was Mike's account. I knew you thought I'd be voted out. Hey, my bad, Suri. I shouldn't have doubted you. I didn't think you'd pull off the extra vote split.
You're blushing like if it is Suri. That's so funny.
Speak on me, Skeezy. This feels like an Aussie swan song. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You said that he had that segment earlier
Yeah.
about his dad. Yeah, he's cooked. He's cooked islands. Was that his first season?
Cook Islands.
Yeah, or was that was
First season.
okay.
What'd you say?
He's cooked islands.
Nice. Oh, she's making Survivor puns. This is such an obvious vote off. Because I just don't see it being Aubrey. Like, if Joe was the other name being floated out there, I could see it. Damn, what a quote by Jeff.
What is it?
He said, the game is the lure, that's what gets you in, but the experience is the prize.
Aw.
Very cute. This is weird. I think Ozzy's going home. I did not expect that at all. And I think that kind of kills Surie's game.
If there's any time to play it, if I'm Aussie, it's when I'm in this 5-person tribe.
This is a huge twist for me. I really thought both of them were going to be fine today. I think it's Ozzy.
Is it? There's 7 minutes left.
I think this is the whole story of why they... Well, that doesn't make a difference. The vote wouldn't take longer if you use the idol.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I think the story of Rizzo not telling Ozzy, and I think it's a mistake by Rizzo, honestly. But I could see both arguments, right? Rizzo's in the position where he needs to get all the big threats out before Final 3.
Yet again.
I don't believe it. It's Ozzy or Aubrey. That's so embarrassing. What is wrong with him?
Yeah, damn.
They
What
took
a loser, though. Like, why?
they took Suri away from him for a second, and he did this. The whole story of him being like an evolved player and he goes out the same way is crazy.
Well, much. Meant everything I said. Can't explain how painful this is to anyone.
Rizzo
He's not
sucks.
idol. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't feel bad.
Yeah, I don't know what is Ozzy trying to get from me?
Ozzy, I'm trying to respect.
How many times
Yeah.
Okay.
He got a fantastic edit for an ending like that.
Good luck, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he was a central figure, and this is a huge boot. Like, I think it makes sense for him to get a pretty big edit, but... Man, it still sucks for Suri. She did a lot to try to help Ozzy there. And he doesn't beat their immunity record? Damn.
Suri said Rizzo sucks.
Where? Oh. I was like, no way. Suri's tweeting Rizzo sucks. He blew up her game. Well, not really, because, like, there's no consequences of her having a final 2 with Ozzy now that Ozzy's gone. Like, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. This really is just Suri being trapped in the kayak again. It's very similar. And I appreciate Rizzo, by the way. Like, Rizzo is more me than Izzy, and that's clear. You know what I mean? And I don't think I was ever as close as Suri. Like, Suri never considered me as close of an ally as she considers Rizzo. But Rizzo is... Suri is Rizzo's ally. Rizzo is not, infinitely loyal to Suri. So I do like Rizzo not being like... He's not under Suri's spell. He's playing with Suri. But now it's like, what the fuck? How does Suri win the game? Every bit of Suri's chances, I just feel like they're gone. Granted, with Ozzy using the idol, she also loses a ton of power anyways. But this just makes it so hard for her to survive the final 4. Surviving the final 4 is almost impossible at this point without Ozzy. So I think that ends Suri's game too. But good for Suri surviving her tribe. That was a really good effort by Emily. I think Rizzo made the wrong move. But, like, for a guy like Rizzo, who does he need out before final tribal? He needs Suri out. He needs Ozzy out. Probably needs Devon's out. And he's running out of time with immunity, with idols. Like, I get getting one of the people out when you're not necessarily, like, a jury threat, but I just think having Ozzy and Suri be an obvious pair with Ozzy not having an idol, it's like, the next boot, they have to get rid of Devon's and Ozzy next. Devon's, Ozzy, Suri. Like, it almost guarantees him the end game, like final 4. At least. I think it's the wrong move. I really think Rizzo should have done it. I don't think Rizzo has a chance now. I mean, Rizzo still has a chance. Because he could still get to the end. Like, it seems like he has a good relationship with everybody. He has a good relationship with Joe. He has a good one with Jonathan. Like, I think Rizzo now needs to get rid of Tiffany. Like, Tiffany feels like a huge problem for Rizzo. My chance just shot up. Suri, I think you're cooked. I'm sorry. How do you survive Final 4 now? You need Rizzo to win immunity? He's not going to take you. No one's taking her now. Devon's is gone next. I mean, yeah, Suri probably has a buffer. Like, the thing is, there's really not a reason to take out Suri anymore, you know? Now you probably take her out at 5 or 4. Devon's you do have to take out first. But Devon's also lost fire, and he's not great at immunity. Like, you can kind of take either of them out. It doesn't matter.
The nitty gritty. Oh my god, a Nacho Libre reference.
I didn't follow my intuition. I didn't follow the dream that I had last night. And here I am, holding an idol. The title of Soul Survivor is something that I've seeked for 20 years now. It's really bittersweet realizing that the dream has come to an end. You know, I feel like I played a great game, but great isn't good enough in Survivor 50.
Damn, that's brutal.
Yeah, he sounds super sad.
He's super bummed. I can't believe Ozzy did that, though. That's so crazy. But anyways, that'll be it. I'm gonna get offline now. What an episode, though. I'm going to raid somebody. Who's live? Is Quinn live?
Taryn is.
Yeah, Taryn has more viewers than me, though.
Oh.
It's like a pity raid. I need like a Big dog grade. All right. Well, that's a ban. Or a timeout at the very least. What's Terran's? Is it Terran Armstrong or Armstrong Terran?
Oh, sorry, I exited the thing.
Help chat. I think it's just Terran Armstrong. Let's see. Oh, nailed it. Okay. Tell Terran I say hi. He's probably getting offline now anyways.